Okay, with the filmmaker of Vagabond and Red, Iquitos. Hopefully I said that right. Is it Iquitos?
I always say Iquitos, but I got the Pittsburgh accent, so
Okay.
that's how I say it.
Tom
Lonero,
Lorano
Lonero.
Lonero. Look at that. Okay, so Luquitos Lonero. Italian?
Yeah, raised Italian at least. Yeah, I was
So that,
adopted when I was two by
oh,
by an
gotcha.
by an Italian. I mean, my mom's my mom, but my dad adopted when he
Gotcha.
married my mom. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so I understand. So you're half Italian then.
Yes.
Okay, so in a way, basically, so let's talk about your film. So let me ask you a question. So this is a feature film, but this is just the first part of other feature films that you made?
It's the sixth part.
It's the sixth part. Okay, so you've made
Yes.
five other parts, and it's all Vagabond and Red, and then it's
It's all
different.
Vagabond and Red, yeah, with six episodes. But I mean, I shot them on two separate trips to Peru.
Okay, and then what does Vagabond and Red mean? What's the symbolism of that title?
Vagabond, basic, well, because I shot everything solo, and me, I'm a person in recovery. I come from a past of addiction. Um, and well, honestly, when I went to go trademark just the name Vagabond, they said that I couldn't trademark Vagabond, so I had to come up with something else. So in red to me means I owe, which I
Yeah.
always feel like I owe. So that's the purpose of Vagabond in red.
Well, what do you owe? Just as a fellow recovering addict, I'm just curious what you owe.
I owe simply because I think we all should feel that way personally, but I feel like I owe um, just a little bit of life to things are so crazy right now that it's to me it's always about trying to give back a little bit. And with myself, I yeah, I mean with the past of addiction, but I mean I've been clean for decades. Um and I continue to try to give back, but life is um life is complicated right now. Politics, um, living in the United States, there's definitely some issues that everybody in the world sees right now. So,
Yeah.
from my perspective, I always have to try to stay. Um, I'm just trying to stay on the good side. I mean, we all owe. I mean, I got grandkids. I'm going to be gone someday. How do I leave the world? It's that kind of thing. So,
Okay, so what is the sixth document? What's the sixth chapter about? What's the thematic of what's this film about?
so it took place. I shot basically at six different locations. The first location is Nazca in Peru. The second location was in Lima. Third location was Arequipa. Fourth location is Cusco. Fifth location was the Sacred Valley, and then it all ends in Iquitos. There is an arc to it, but each film stands
On its
stands
own.
completely on its own.
So it's kind of funny because I was watching your film and it reminded me of like kind of like when I backpacked through Europe, like when I was like right after school, and I was young and stupid, and I was having fun, but then I didn't have much perspective. I thought I did, but I didn't. And it's almost like this is kind of like backpacking through South America or middle and basically with perspective. And you're kind of getting all these insights from people along the way, I guess. Kind of what the
And
meaning of life is.
that's yeah, that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
But it's not just through the people, it's through, I mean, Peru's excellent as far as giving you the meaning of life through land, through its history, through its archaeology, through the just you can see ancient human perspective, and then you go into Lima and you see a modern city, and you meet the people along the way, people that, I mean, if you think we got protests, you should see the protests in Peru.
Sure.
I mean, So, the people all over the world are connected in one way or another. And I've been fortunate enough to do some traveling. I've been to a lot of different places. So, that's kind of been my learning process in life too. I mean, I think traveling has enriched me. It's because I could very easily have just, lived and died in Pittsburgh. And that's what I would know, but I want to know more than that.
A lot of people in Pittsburgh do, I guess, right? Like it's a very kind of a, dare I say, American thing. Kind of stay in your roots, stay in your culture.
My grandmother never left Pittsburgh. She never drove. She never even drove. Never had a
Yeah.
driver's license. But I'll tell you one thing about my grandmother, and she died at 103 years old, just last year. She was very well read. So even that was her escape. She actually knew a big part of the world, but she only knew it through reading.
Yeah.
So that yeah, she was an interesting woman. There's people that I know that still do some traveling that know less about the world than what she knew. So,
Yeah, well, because a lot of people like they quote unquote travel, but they're just
well,
like
like
you're going
you
to
travel
Mexico on a resort. That's not really going
travel on a cruise. A
to,
cruise ship sounds horrible to me. It sounds torturous. I would never want to travel on a cruise ship. I say that now, but when I'm 80 years old, you might find me on a cruise ship somewhere, but who
yeah.
knows?
Yeah, it's a vacation, not traveling, right? So
Sure.
there's the difference, right?
Right. I don't want to. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, every time I've ever traveled, I've come home way more tired than when I left.
Yeah, that's sort of what happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're the main character of this film, right? Like you have a lot of like personal kind of shots and like perspectives in the voiceover, etc. It's almost like talked about like it's almost your personal journey, like what like you're kind of taking us on a ride of like what you're kind of experiencing emotionally.
Well, I think that's important. If I'm going to, connect with the audience, I have to be able to tell them a little bit. I mean, I'm not trying to sit there and make a show on how to cook, raviolis in Italy. You know what I mean? I don't. That's not my thing. That's
Could you
not what
do
I
that
want.
though if you really wanted to?
Okay.
Yeah.
Could I cook some raviolis? Yeah, I can cook
Yeah.
some raviolis. Absolutely.
Okay.
But that, I don't think you want to watch a show about it. At least with me. I'm just going to be sitting there and I'll sit down and eat the raviolis and, that's it. Um, but yeah, I don't, that's not, uh, I, I'll say this. I mean, if you sit down and eat dinner with people, you do learn some things.
Yeah.
Um, and whether or not you're, um, you could grow up in two totally different parts of the world, but if you sit down and enjoy a meal, so there is something to that, but it
Yeah.
doesn't always have to center around that. There's other ways to connect.
Sure.
So, I mean, in Lima, I went through a very interesting museum with somebody, and just, I mean, there's so many different ways to connect in the world and understand um, people. And sometimes I feel like we just don't understand each other that well, or if you grow up in one area that you just, um, I mean, it's okay to understand what you know around you, but um, it's so important to figure out
Yeah.
where other people are coming from in the world, and those can we're connected more than we think, and you realize that when you're traveling, you understand. I mean,
Sure.
people love, they're in the end, everybody loves their children. Everybody loves their family. Everybody loves their friends. Everybody wants a good job. Everybody wants security. You know what I mean? That's that's a that's common. So to think that it's different than that is you're missing
It
the
is,
point.
if you really simplify humans, right? Like we want love and we want and some well, I'm assuming all of us want to be somewhat productive, like do something, right? With our who we are, with our talents or whoever, our passions, our desires, right?
Yeah,
And then life kind of gets in the way, right?
Well, yeah, we society tells us we have to go do this or we got to go do this, and we end
Yeah.
up in a job that might pay the bills, but it doesn't really give us any fulfillment, but it's paying the bills, or you thought that was a direction you wanted to go in. And in the end, when we all are, if we're fortunate enough to get to an old age and we're on our deathbed, we're all going to look back and say, did we do the best we can? And that's my goal with film is
Well,
trying to provide a little bit as
let
best I
me ask you
can.
something. You go down there, right? And you're from the States. I'm from Canada. Very capitalistic kind of Western cultures about kind of making money, productive. I'm being general, of course, but
Sure.
that's the system that's in place in our society, right? Started in Europe. And it seems like they always try to infiltrate that kind of culture, that process into like you're talking about the country you're in or Peru. And it doesn't seem like it's natural to them, which causes problems with the individual. I don't know. I'm just kind of like talking like it seems like there's always like government problems. It's always like it doesn't seem natural to them, and it's like that's why there's always like I could be like way off, but it's like it seems like it's like for me, I guess I don't know if you kind of have that perspective like traveling down there.
uh I mean, I've been in Argentina, I've been in Uruguay,
Yeah.
Peru, Chile. It kind of depends on where you go. Lima is very European, and it's the most of the population is in Lima. So, but when you get up into areas like Cusco and Arequipa, yeah, things definitely change. The atmosphere becomes a lot different. Sacred Valley is outstanding. Has a personality in and of itself, just the valley itself. Um, but if you're talking about are things a little bit slower or things
No, it's just
more
more about like
family,
it's like there's always like it's like there's the infiltration of like capitalism, like setting up a government, society, all these things, right? And it's just not like, and all of a sudden there's always problems because setting it up because it's like I don't think it's like for a lot of it's not for everybody. That's all I'm trying to say. It's like I don't think that this this GDP and structure and free trade is like for every country.
well, everybody needs money to live in
No,
this
well,
world.
do they?
You
That's
know,
the whole point. I don't think they
well,
do because I
it
think that's
depends. I
but
mean,
that's
if
part of it,
you're in the
right?
middle of the jungle and you're,
Yeah,
maybe just a
yeah.
tribe, but I mean, generally speaking, most people need money to live.
But that's what I'm saying. Well, that's because that's a system that we've
we
created
we
for
we
this
have
world,
we
right?
have created it, yeah,
Yeah,
and I understand what your point is.
yeah,
And so when I say things are a little like,
yeah.
when I was in the Sacred Valley, um everywhere else I basically ran into people and I was able to kind of have interactions. Sacred Valley was a little different. In For me, it was more contemplative. You get to visit Machu Picchu and see these different things, um, but the slowness of it, and I mean, I guess I could feel a happiness there
Yeah.
within certain communities that you could tell just didn't have a lot of money, but yet they were happy. You know what I mean?
That's what
Or
I mean. Yeah,
yeah, I felt that,
yeah.
and where they didn't seem like they felt like a need to go out there and um, you know conquer the world, I guess. And yeah, there are places in the world that still exist like that, and it's um, I think it's envious in a way.
Yeah, that's what I'm
There's
trying. I think that's part
there.
of what your film's about. I think you kind of have that trippy kind of sequence in your film, even though you're not partaking in any drugs, but it is trippy, right? It's almost like you're having a trip. and well, the way you
No,
visualized it,
no,
right?
no, I did.
Yeah.
I did take the ayahuasca.
Okay. Okay.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was something that I did do.
Okay. So
So yeah.
you're having the trip,
Oh
right?
yeah.
But you're seeing you're one with nature. You're one with the world, right? You're one with the jaguar. You're like it's the none of this garbage means anything, right? As we're talking on
Oh
Zoom.
yeah, yeah, there was definitely a period there that I um well, it gave me a feeling of being connected though to everything.
Yeah.
That was the thing that came across the most. It made me understand that every little thing that I do is absolutely connected to the world, either in a big way or a small way. Every time you turn a gear, all the gears turn. And I don't know that we understand. Even I mean, you can get into it philosophically, but I mean, we're a planet traveling through a universe. And we touch dust clouds as we travel. Even our solar system travels through. So I mean, every little thing that we touch and we do and it's on a microscopic level we don't know how it's going to. I mean, how will that dust cloud that we travel through affect the sun? How does the
The
how does it
butterfly
affect
effect.
how does it affect the butterfly effect? How does it
Yeah.
affect the oceans? How does it affect the storms? How, I mean, I'm not talking about warrant global. I'm just talking about in general. Every little thing, yeah,
Yeah.
affects something else. And so I think that when people feel helpless in a world that's gone mad, you got to remember that every little thing that you do can touch a life, can make a difference, can do something. And we are so much more powerful than we give ourselves credit for. Um, you know, and when you focus yourself in a certain area and you're trying to make a difference, it's kind of funny how things fall together. The Iquitos was shot in a week. Um, and it came together. Every thing came. It didn't always come together when I was shooting, but when I
Yeah.
got home to edit and started putting it together, it all came together.
Yeah.
So it's um yeah, the whole process of everything's pretty crazy, man.
It is crazy,
Um,
and you meet all these people, and I'm assuming they didn't see the film, right? Because I don't know if you're ever going to see them again.
oh, no, they've all, yeah, I've sent it to all of them.
The
Yeah,
one,
they've
even
all.
the girl that who gave you the canoe ride, she saw the film.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Zoe, I'm friends with her on Facebook and
that's amazing. Oh yeah,
yeah,
well, I guess the new world in today, right?
Instagram. Yeah, yeah, I'm friends with everybody.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's amazing.
everybody has seen even the. I'm not sure if the shaman has seen it, but the people that run
Yeah.
the lodge know that it exists. So I'm assuming they've showed it to them.
So it's like you had this personal journey, and then you're kind of trying to like you go back, you shoot all this footage, and then you go into your editing room and you kind of try to find a narrative and a thematic and kind of a cohesive storyline, I guess, right? In editing.
Well, it always comes together in editing.
Yeah.
I kind of have a general idea of what I want when I'm there, and I see things and I film things and I see people and I talk to people. Um, I have this general idea of what I want in a film. Like I was searching for a reason to be there. I was searching for um, how that kind of a journey can help people that might be struggling in different ways. So when I got to Iquitos, I kind of knew that that was what I was looking for, but I didn't know that I would find it. Um, it definitely was shot on faith.
Yeah. So how long did you travel? How long were you gone for?
So basically, well, 2 3 week trips. So I shot 6 films, all feature length documentaries in 6 weeks.
Wow.
And
And you and
it
you
took me 3 years to edit the films.
gotcha. And then you just kind of came home and kind of threaded it all together.
Yeah, almost killed me.
It went and like what, you fell off the chair in the editing bay or
No,
more common than
I
that?
ended up I got COVID for the first time when I got back, and 6 weeks after I got COVID,
Yeah,
from and I'm just editing, editing, editing.
yeah.
And when I edit and I get focused on editing, like I might not sit up from the chair. I might not stand up. I might sit here for 10 hours. Maybe uh, used a restroom, but other than that, that's about it. And I just get obsessed with it, and ended up with a pulmonary embolism.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm healthy, So they don't leave. They to this day they have no idea why I got it. I was on blood thinners for a year, and they took me off. They said you're fine, but yeah. So it taught me a lesson there too. I got to get out there and still do life, even though I'm editing film and trying to put this thing together. I need to I need to have more balance.
So
Yeah.
it's amazing in the world that we live in now is that, and it's funny because I just talked to somebody a couple weeks ago, made a documentary feature, and they did it all by themselves.
That's me.
That's you, right? And you shot it and you kind of edited it and you kind of wrote it, put it all together, obviously produced it, and you just kind of talked to all these people and kind of about it's about life. It's about, you know, what's it all not to sound wanky, but what's it all about, I guess, right? Like what are we doing?
And that's yeah. It is, but I don't try to come from a preachy standpoint. I
No,
don't
you
think
don't,
that
not at all. You're just kind of showing what you saw, right?
I want to show what I see where
Yeah.
I'm uh, and I think I do a good job of that. And I think I do a good job of showing my journey. And I also think I do a good I mean I try to make sure that whatever I'm doing um let you know that I'm a real person,
Hmm.
and I'm not just some narrator. I'm not just some host of a show trying to show you something. I want to be able to, um, let you know that I'm human and I got my own, shit, so to speak.
So how many kids do you have?
I got two daughters,
And how many grandkids?
four.
Four grandkids. So you could be just busy with that, right? But what do your daughters think about you doing this and making these films?
Oh, my daughters are always supportive. My one does some wedding photography, and we're filming. So she's does a lot of content creation for weddings, and that's she's involved with that. My other daughter, um, well, she does photography too. Actually, she's So everybody's kind of does a little bit of this.
So you got on your website, so hardmonkeyproductions.com, and you got the episodes or the synopsis of the six episodes, and then now you're going to season two
I did film already in
in Costa
Costa Rica.
Rica. Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't started editing that yet, and I'm not sure that I got enough. I might have to go back there, but I shot in northwestern section of Costa Rica, and I might want to go back and shoot in the southwestern section of Costa Rica, and then I could maybe fill in a little bit of gaps here too.
And then you're writing a book too. You're writing a novel.
I am, yeah,
So you're
yeah,
busy.
gathering. I am, yeah.
And so what do you, so you're just gonna edit this like and then you're gonna make five more episodes?
Well, I'd like to make some more episodes of Vagabond and Red,
Yeah.
but for me, I'm still trying to figure out the distribution end of things. I'm still
Yeah.
trying to figure out how to get funding. I don't, that's all a struggle. I don't know a lot about the business end of this, so that's where the learning curve for me is still apparent.
Well, you might need to bring people on into your film, right? So that's probably the next step, like a
It's
producer.
possible. Yeah. I mean, I actually am filming. I did start filming I'm filming something called Nunahi right now, and it takes place throughout the Appalachians, and it kind of follows the history of America from the time um, the Europeans landed all the way forward to today.
Yeah.
And so, what I'm looking for is really the soul of America, and I'm trying to show that throughout the history of the Appalachians.
Yeah, well, Appalachian Mountains are. I was just talking about like I've been through there, and it's kind of amazing, and it's something that's not talked about enough. I know that there's been movies and stuff like that, but there's something very interesting about that area in America that it's kind of extraordinary actually too, right? And it's just like, and that so I think you're on to something there because I don't think it's been documented enough.
Well, they at one time were the tallest mountains in the world,
Yeah,
and they're actually the same mountains exist over in Europe. The same mountain chain, the Scottish Highlands,
yeah,
and or part of the Appalachians,
yeah.
and also the Atlas Mountains in North Africa. That was all one in the Appalachian. That was all one mountain chain at one time.
Yeah, and the people live there, and like it's interesting.
Well,
Yeah,
the history of it. I've been in oil and gas for a number of
yeah,
years, so I've talked to all those people for
yeah,
a long time.
yeah. You're not too far away from there, from being in Pittsburgh. So
No, I travel up and down there all the time.
yeah.
Always in the northern West Virginia Panhandle, eastern Ohio. Yeah.
Well, it looks like you got your some of your gear behind you and a guitar. So looks like you're
Uh,
set.
yeah. Well, I try to make my this feeling like it's got the right mojo going on it so that I can do what I got to do. Yeah.
Cool.
Even now I'm still editing. Still going back and re-editing the first um, episodes. Um, it's very important for me that the films look like film.
Yeah,
I don't like video, and so I worked really hard at learning how to do that. And that was and the color grading and all that kind of stuff. That
like the
was
lenses with what lens you're using. Yeah,
I mean, I used the worst gear, and
yeah,
and had to blend it all together and make it look like it was all one cohesive film. Yeah, so
yeah,
it took a lot. Yeah, it also taught me that when I'm shooting my next film to not do that anymore.
yeah. Well, because it probably won't take you 3.5 years to edit it. One would
Yeah,
assume.
well, yeah, well, learning how to do it from the beginning to the end, I think, is invaluable. Though
Oh, of course, it's your education.
it was my education. 6 films.
It's amazing. It's amazing what you did. Well, congratulations on the success so far. I see you got to Bare Bones Festival. That's my first festival that I ever attended. In
Okay.
besides TIFF, like I'm
Yeah,
from Toronto. Besides TIFF, but basically the first like that was showing a film. So like 20 odd years ago. So I have a personal attachment to Muskoke and Bare Bones. That was like
they
yeah,
they just notified me that I was selected.
yeah, coming up. Yeah.
I haven't got the follow-up email yet on it, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's a cool place if you want to go to Muskoke.
Well,
Yeah,
I need to. So
yeah,
because part of what I'm filming with Nunahi also deals with indigenous, what happened with the indigenous
yeah,
population here, and that's where they all are.
yeah. It's true. And
I,
it taught you know what it taught me is that this was during the Bush administration around 2005, and it
mhm.
taught me is that they're all conservative there, right? And it's like they're just like this is my ignorance, right? Back then, it's like they're just good people, and they're just like they just want to have they want that just like how you described in the film. They just want love, and they just want a good job and take care of their family and just be happy,
Sure, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I need to go out there and talk to
Yeah,
um, some people. I hopefully I can set up some interviews out there because that would be my goal.
cool. All right,
So
man. Let's talk soon. When we showcase another film of yours, or keep in touch.
we'll do, sir.
Thank you. All right. Have a good day.
Feel free to reach out anytime.
All right.